Sunday in the regionals against East Carolina, 7 1/3, no runs. But that was a while ago. Brendan Summerhill leads things off. And the strike throw, who averages about 70% plus pitches in the strike zone, falls behind 1-0. On the season, a .358 hitter, 4 homers, good on base guy with 12 doubles. Swings at that one, it's fouled at the plate.
Well, there is Riley Eickhoff, red shirt senior, 5'10", 185-pounder. Tell you what, he might be their number 3 starter, but he ain't showing you number 3 numbers for sure. Look at the ERA, 2.90, the whip just a shade over 1. And how about the strikeout to walk ratio? Over 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Just over the head of Ty Dooley, and a good start for Brendan Summerhill, aboard with a single and a left.
Really good adjustment right there. And the one thing that they did see out of Eickhoff is he's got a lot of tail, a lot of run in it. And if you're a left-handed hitter, you cannot try to pull it. If not, you will hit it on the ground. You have to go the other way. Summerhill doing it perfectly, going to left.
Yeah, Carl, you hit the nail on the head. I think both of these offenses, because both of our starting pitchers are strike throwers, I look for both of these offenses to be stepping in the box and be ready to hit right away.
And 2 really good defenses. 52 double plays turned by the Coastal Carolina defense, which is 7th in the country. Aaron Walton hits second. Then he swings at the first one. This one's towards the gap in right center field. Now coming in with the wind, blowing it in is Wells Sykes. And there is one man out. That is the traditional wind that we see here at Charles Schwab Field. It is real hard to hit the ball out, especially to that part of the ballpark.
Yeah, that part of the ballpark, especially if you're a right-handed hitter, to go against the wind the way it's blowing right now, difficult. And Sykes, who comes from the Citadel into Coastal Carolina, covering really good ground in center field.
Mason White steps in. He was 8 years old when he attended each of Arizona's tournament games at High Corbett Field. That was part of their journey to their 4th national title. Breaking pitch just misses.
3-pitch mix for Eickhoff, fastball, slider, and a changeup. He's going to throw all 2-seam fastballs, all sinking fastballs. His best pitch has been the slider, though. Opponent's only hitting 165 off of that breaking ball.
Big numbers for White at the plate, and a good pitch there in on his fist. He's got 19 homers. He has 72 runs batted in.
What's impressive about the 19 homers is playing at High Corbett Field in Arizona and Tucson. That wind this year was blowing straight in most of the season. Hard to hit it out to the pool side in right field as well.
That's a good pitch, and it's 1-2. We'll set the defense behind Eickhoff because they're very good. Walker Mitchell's at third, Ty Dooley's at short, Blake Barthol is at second, and Colby Thorndike's your first baseman. Sebastian Alexander in left, Sykes, who made that play, in center, and Blagan Pato is in right. On a 1-2, he got him. It's held on to by the only guy we haven't mentioned, who is probably the best player on Coastal, and that's their catcher, Kaden Boddine.
Yeah, pretty good pitch right there. And he got that fastball by White because the previous 2 pitches were both breaking balls on the inside part of the plate. You slow that bat down a couple times, then you take that 2-seam fastball and you just rip it to the outer third. First strikeout of the day for Eickhoff.
That brings up Donis Guzman. He and White hit back-to-back homers twice in the Big 12 tournament. 318 on the season. Infield on the left side, deep and short. Runner goes. Throw down from Boddine is not in time, and a stolen base. Just like that, we see both Barthol and Dooley ask for a potential review.
That's a good sign for Chip Hale that Summerhill is stealing on this ball. Everything going towards, and I think he's got him.
He's going to be
by
out.
a lot, yeah.
And because of the angle of his arm slot, everything runs towards the runner when it comes to Boddine behind the plate. One of the big reasons why, even if he's at 1-9,
called at second base. The call is under review.
Even though he's a 1-9 to the plate, where he puts the ball is right there into the runner's lane, making it a lot easier for a catch and tag.
That's what they're taught now. Throw the ball into the running lane and let your middle infielder go get it and apply the tag. And that's exactly what Coastal did there. And Arizona's not a team that runs a lot. I mean, you look at their stolen bases on the year, only 48 of them on the year.
They all looked up to the big screen in right field, and Coastal, before we have the official announcement, coming off the field. It's also, make no mistake about it, their head coach, Kevin Schnall, raves about Kaden Boddine. He says he gets it and throws it at a fielder's kneecap every time down there. He makes perfect throws and has all season long, and he looks like he's going to get his first caught stealing.
The tail of the run just perfectly thrown, and immediately the call made.
After further review, the calls will be overturned. Coastal retains their 2 challenges.
Tremendous play by Boddine. Good start after a leadoff single for Eichhoff, and we'll see the shots come up for the first time when we come back.
They're not afraid to hit behind the counts.
So Kaden Boddine will lead things off in on the grass at third. And that first pitch is inside, ball 1. Boddine just fantastic defensively and offensively. When they first got him, they knew he could catch. It was the bat to ball skills that blew them away. 2 homers in game 1 of the Supers against Auburn, and here we go with the next one. 2 balls, no strikes. Maddox Michaelakis is the third baseman, still about a foot back on the grass, playing deep at short as Mason White. On the ground and right through the hole. Both teams start with leadoff men getting on via the single. Kaden Boddine aboard.
Boddine not wasting any time. They said it early. We've seen it all season long with Boddine. Very selective at the plate. Will hunt one zone, and he ended up getting it right here. Fastball down low. Hitter's paradise from the left side.
Wide open hole and a good look from Umcam. Aaron Caulfield is the second baseman. He was shaded a little bit up the middle. Tommy Splains at first. Around the outfield, Easton Brayfogle in left, Aaron Walton in center, Brendan Summerhill is in right, and Adonis Guzman behind the plate. Just a couple of steals on the season for Boddine as Sebastian Alexander steps in. Squares to bunt. A good one. Lacus will throw him out, but they do advance the runner. And you'll see that a lot from Coastal Carolina to put the pressure on the defense. They practice bunting. They will drag bunt oftentimes in a sacrifice situation. And they practice getting hit by pitches, just to follow up on your point about 170 of them.
They keep and they practice on the fundamentals the entire time. They are a team that just do not beat themselves up. Fundamentally, everything done right. See the bat angle perfectly executed out front. Moving the runner over. If he gets down the line a little bit, maybe has a chance for a hit as well.
Opportunity now, runner in scoring position for Blake Barthol. And that one is a little bit high. Out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, 5'9". They have a shift on with 3 on the right side, including 1 deep at second base. That misses inside.
Second hitter already falling behind 2-0.
That's not like Kramkowski. Typically, he is a strike thrower. But again, always talk about the first inning blues for a starting pitcher. What you had in that bullpen does not necessarily translate to the game mound.
What about the heartbeat?
And that's another thing, too. You can't create the adrenaline flow on the game mound when the batter steps in the box that you can create down in the bullpen. You just can't create the same thing. So it's up to the starting pitcher to figure out what's working that day, try to figure out what's working. And what makes it even tougher, Eddie, is you got to face the other team's best hitters right out of the chute as well.
He fights back in the count to even it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barthol was a defensive hero. He made a couple of diving plays game 1 of the Supers, which really saved the game against Auburn. Coaching staff thinks he might go down as one of the best players they ever had. Try to get a fastball by him, and he did just enough that he couldn't keep that ball fair.
That's kind of the max fastball for Kramkowski right there. And that was at 95 miles an hour. Typically, he's 92 to 95. Now, it's a two-seamer he'll keep down low, and every now and then he'll grab that four-seam fastball, and he'll go top shelf in the strike zone to try to change the eye level a little bit.
2-2 with Boddine off second base. Off speed, great pitch. He got him. Barthol gone swinging.
We talked about that pitch right there being Kramkowski's very best out pitch, that slider. And it's more of a sweeping slider. It's got a little more horizontal in it, that it has depth to it. But boy, when you start it right there, right on the inner third, you work it down and in and just underneath the bat. And the first strikeout of the day for Kramkowski.
Gets us to Walker Mitchell. 284 average for the third baseman on the season. 4 home runs. Been banged up quite a bit this season.
That's the way.
He's a sophomore. They have made a great amount of demands on this kid. He takes a ton of balls in the field. And now it's again 2 balls, no strikes. Wind is very, very mild right now, oftentimes blowing straight in. Right now, a little bit from left to right field.
Well, if you can do that now, that's going to change the game for Kramkowski right there. Get yourself in a fastball count, but be able to throw something other than a fastball in a fastball count.
9-6, 5.48 ERA. He's a big one on the mound. He's 6'3". He's just 168 pounds. Good one there. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's the east to west you're talking about right there. Breaking ball going away, 2-seamer coming in.
Staying alive as he threw him a breaking pitch. You saw the crowd shot there. Of course, having teams like LSU and Arkansas that travel really well, this building will be bumping for a long time. And it's a perfect 82-degree day here in Omaha, Nebraska. If Kramkowski can get through this inning and strand a runner. 2-2, 2 outs. Another foul ball. Interesting numbers, Ben, on Kramkowski. In his 6 losses, his ERA is north of 16.5, and his road ERA is 8.22. Been terrific at home.
Yeah, 9 of his 17 starts, 3 earned runs or less. You're right. When he's bad, he has been bad. But when he's good, he has been really, really good.
2-2 popped up on the infield. And Caulfield is under it. And he's there to make the play. That first inning, no blues for either pitcher. They get through it as we settle in at the World Series. Second inning, no score. Back on the mound, Riley Eichhoff. He'll get Adonis Guzman, Maddox, Nikolakis. And that one right back up the middle, hard hit, and that is good for a single for Adonis Guzman. So you're living a little dangerously, Ben, here with the leadoff men now on both first and second inning.
And Arizona's kind of doing exactly what we thought they'd do. We felt like they'd be uber aggressive because you're facing a strike thrower in Eichhoff who fills up the strike zone. So look, if you're game plan and you have a game plan when you step in the box, I'm going to hunt a first pitch fastball, and you get that pitch, why not get your A swing off?
The one thing Eichhoff can do, because he has that 2-seamer, he can induce a double play. Infield right now on the shift.
That dually to the other side of second base for the lefty Nikolakis. Throws that 2-seamer, and it's interesting. You shift, you go 2-seamer outside, so if you put the bat on the ball, there's a good chance it's going to go the other way, no?
It's a good chance, but most likely it's going to go the other way in the air. The swing path, the way it's designed, the bat path, will induce it in the air.
Like that fastball away and that good breaking ball down in. That's kind of what we're seeing from Eichhoff so far. He's very unpredictable, too. He'll throw just about any of his three pitches just about in any count that he has.
Over his career, 3 postseason starts, and Eichhoff has been nails in every one of them. Guzman, not a threat to run, doesn't go. Another swing and a miss on a really good pitch from Eichhoff.
Well, that's where you want to be as a pitcher. Something that begins in the zone with 2 strikes and eventually works its way out of the zone. And watch how long this breaking ball stays in the zone. It is in the zone a long time. Finally, it takes a little left. There's a really good look at it. See how he gets down low and just kind of rips that sweeping slider across the zone? You can almost see that dot. There's a dot on the front of that ball. Eddie, you know that as a hitter, and there's a dot on the back of that ball. And that's what hitters hit off of, right? They see spin, they see the dot, but not able to connect with that one.
Garen Caulfield, second baseman. Strike 1. Eichhoff is relatively quiet as a kid. That's what they will tell you about Coastal Carolina. But we got a chance to speak to the players on the day before this thing starts yesterday. You couldn't get him to stop talking. We learned a lot about Riley Eichhoff, who's now ahead 0-2. From his own description of himself, which is a battler, using other words.
The bad man.
He got some confidence. Let's just say it like that. And why not with the numbers he's put up this year? Sub-3 ERA.
Caulfield, this double play ball right up the middle. Barthol duly spins and fires, and they turn another double play. That's their 53rd of the season.
Well, the one thing that I do love about infielders is footwork. Forget about them catching the ball. You need to have great footwork. You take a step back, get the hop, then do the 360, and then show off that arm at first base. Coastal coming up to bat.
An absolutely spectacular sight. This, of course, Charles Schwab Field, downtown Omaha, the College World Series. 7 of the last 10 champions were first-time winners. We have no teams back from last year. You got a 3 seed in Arkansas, a 6 seed in LSU. A top 8 seed has won 6 of the last 7 College World Series. Murray State, the 14th team, seeded 3rd or 4th in its regional to get here. It's similar to maybe a 13 through 16 seed in the NCAA basketball tournament, getting to the Elite 8. Another leadoff hit. Boy, we've seen that from both. Colby Thorndike turns it around. So in each of the first 2 innings, both teams have had a leadoff man on.
And aggressive early as well. 0-0 count. Colby not wasting for any time at all. Sees a pitch up that he can drive, and he did exactly that.
You know, and both of these pitchers may want to start to change the game plan a little bit. If you're going to attack first pitch fastballs, I'm okay with that as a pitcher, but I know I got to make a quality pitch. The second thing is this: if I know they're going to be very aggressive, maybe I want to throw some off-speed pitches in there for strike 1, kind of get them out in front.
Last time they were in this situation, they had a sacrifice from Sebastian Alexander. This is Blagan Pato. That's a little high, ball 1. Pato has torn it up in this postseason, 5 games, hitting .471, 3 homers, 7 runs batted in. Squibber off the end of the bat.
8 total home runs on the season, 3, as you said, in postseason play. Finding his power at the right time, bottom of the order, doing some damage this postseason.
The breaking pitch, and he fouled it straight off. Pato got a lot of playing time due to an injury, and that was to Dean Mijos. Mijos, for the first time, is actually back in the starting lineup for Coastal Carolina as a DH. It was a big loss, but it afforded this guy a chance to play, and man, has he been outstanding in the postseason.
You got to keep an eye on Thorndike as well at first base. 7 for 7 in stolen bases this season. It's a slow delivery to the plate from Krambowski.
Pado was the leadoff hitter in the fall. They've moved him down. And he certainly seems to have settled in on a 2-2. Jam shot, stays alive. Two of those home runs came in game 1 of that super against Auburn. What a game that was. In fact, so far the entire postseason has been electric. Now you got 8 teams all trying to win a College World Series. 8 of 300 plus teams to start a season. That one is into left field on a pitch that was outside, but Pado continues his hot hitting in this postseason. He delivers another one, and now they got 2 aboard.
Pretty good swing right there by Pado. He just kind of went out and got this breaking ball. Watch him. He goes out and circles this ball. Watch this ball working down away from him. He just kind of gets out in front of it, puts his nose on it, and just kind of circles this ball. Line drive out to left field. So first and second here in the second inning, and nobody out for Coastal.
Love the release of the top hand, being able to extend and keep that bat head in the zone just a little bit longer.
There's an opportunity perhaps for them to put something on with their small game bunting, drag bunting. Ty Dooley with 2 on, nobody out.
Well, Arizona's certainly expecting it. Both corner guys are in front of the bag.
And he popped it up. That's going to be playable. Diving, and it's a fair ball. Everybody advances the base. It went off the glove of Krambowski, and they say in fair territory. And then it trickled into foul territory, and it looks like the bases will be loaded for Coastal.
Home plate umpire Gregory Street had a perfect angle to it. As soon as the ball went in the air, he aligned himself with that foul line or fair line, however you want to call it. But you see him get to the right and sees the dive of Krambowski. Hits off the end of the glove, but stays in fair.
Yep, there's your
upon contact.
Clearly touched in fair ground.
The first huge opportunity is Coastal's. They'll call that a hit for Dooley. And again, putting pressure on a defense. And we're going to get our first mound visit.
And we talked earlier with Kevin Schnall, the head coach of Coastal Carolina, about the bunt play, right? Putting pressure on defenses, sometimes especially hitting it towards the pitcher. Sometimes they're not the best athletes, Ben.
No.
Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there early.
Some of them aren't. Let's say that. Some of them aren't.
Krambowski's not as tall as you are, but, you know, perhaps his length allowed him to even get a glove on that ball.
And this was an athletic dive.
No, he made a great effort at this, you know, and it's kind of in no man's land. Normally a ball popped up like that, somebody's going to catch it. He lays out, and look, he got there in plenty of time, but the ball just watch this, right off the tip of the glove.
Need a little bit more extension.
And Eddie, you're right. Gregory Street was all over that, our home plate umpire today.
Love how he positioned himself. You're right. He had time to kind of work, and where he can look right down the third baseline. And these are the best in the business that we have here at the College World Series.
It took a little time, too, to see Dooley just kind of stood there with that ball popped up. He wasn't going anywhere. I didn't know if it was because he thought it was going to go foul or he thought the pitcher was going to catch it, but he didn't move. And then all of a sudden he kicked it into gear. So Coastal with an opportunity. They hit .318 with the bases loaded, and this guy, Dean Mijos, .375. Ball 1.
Well, this is a Coastal offense. It's been pretty good all year long, but they really picked it up in the postseason. In the Conway Regional, man, they had 29 runs in 3 games, only allowed 9.
What an opportunity for Mijos, who missed so much time as he swings and misses to go 1 ball, 1 strike.
And if you're Krambowski here, for me, this is about minimizing damage, right? Bases loaded, nobody out. It's okay to bend a little bit, give up 1 run here. What you don't want to allow is a crooked number. And he's got a really good 2-seam fastball, and he'd love to create a ground ball double play right here.
He was off to a really good start. Mijos missed 12 games. Really good pitch, and it didn't look good on that one. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Would not be surprised if he goes right back to it. He looked like he was way out in front. Let's see how Mijos can make the adjustment right here.
Kramkowski, 83 strikeouts coming in and 87 innings of work, so he can certainly strike you out. And that's exactly what he needs here.
With the bases loaded, nobody out. He did go right back to it, and Mijos, he's gone.
That's what you call reading bats right there. And when you throw a certain pitch, an information pitch, and you get a swing like that, you need to come right back with it again. And Kramkowski starts it in a perfect place, and anything turns like that, folks, ought to have a blinker on it. That is more of a sweeping slider.
What if you can't turn right on red?
If you can't turn right on red, you're in trouble.
Well, here comes the 9-hole hitter as you take a look at the strike percentage this season, which leads the Big 12.
To give you an idea, the average big league pitcher throws about 64% strikes. He's up at 70%, just to kind of give you an idea.
Well, Sykes is now behind 0-1 on a fastball. A grinder, he is a transfer from the Citadel. A little early stress for Chip Hale.
Playing the corners in, so anything hit hard, they'll go and try to turn two. If not, they're going home with it in the corners.
That one is lined into left field. Thorndike's going to come in. Pato is following him, and the 9-hole hitter, Wells Sykes, delivers. 2 RBI single. Coastal on the board first.
So much focus in the College World Series with the top of the orders. Not this year. This year, every team coming in has a lot of balance in the bottom of the order, that they have done damage during the regionals and super regionals have gotten hot late. It's exactly what Coastal Carolina's done right there. Sykes, slider, stays up in the zone, drills it, and drives into.
Yeah, and if you're hitting, that's the breaking ball you want to see. The one that almost starts at you as a right-handed hitter and breaks over the middle part of the plate. Not where Kramkowski wanted that one, in a big blow. And Coastal Carolina on the board first.
And Kaden Boddine, leadoff hitter, best hitter on the team, back up. He rips one on a line to left. It stays up and it's caught. Both runners have to go back. Boddine jumped on a first pitch. Hit it hard, but right at Brendan Summerhill.
When I tell you, left-handed hitters this year against Kramkowski have hit him well. Left-handers come in hitting .345 on the year against Kramkowski. He's been a lot better against the right-handed hitters. They're hitting .259 on him on the year.
Is it too many strikes, though?
It
Right
can be, but it's about, to me, there's a difference between a strike and a quality strike, right? Where do you put the ball? I'm okay if, again, you're going to swing early. I'm good with that. I just know as a pitcher that I got to make a quality first pitch.
Sebastian Alexander swings at a fastball. It's 0-1. Redshirt senior out of Mayfield, Ohio, by way of Kent State, Phoenix College. 5 for 9 of the supers against Auburn, 2 doubles. 53 runs batted in on the season. Ben, is 2 when you said bases loaded, no out, let's just minimize damage. 2 minimizing damage?
It's not ideal, but you'll take it over 3 or 4, obviously,
Sure.
you know. But you get bases loaded. It's hard to throw a 0 on the scoreboard when bases loaded and nobody out. You hope that maybe you get a strikeout like he did, and then maybe a ground ball double play, and you figure out a way to work out of it.
Figure slider here, down and away. Let's see what he does. 0-2. Into the mitt, held on to. He gets the big strikeout when he needs it. But the shots break through first, and it's the bottom of the order. They had 3 straight singles to start, followed by a strikeout and a clutch hit from Wells Sykes to drive in 2. 2-zip. He has thrown 11 straight strikes and 14 of 16 overall. And that one is down. But that story started when he said, I was dancing on a couch and she was standing in front of me. 3 years later, he got engaged. And as nervous as he might have been to ask her, we have to talk about how nervous he was to get permission from his soon-to-be father-in-law. He said he sat with him watching TV for 2+ hours, waiting for the right moment, saying, I got to do it. I'm not really comfortable. I don't know what he's going to say. Finally, he realized we're sitting here and nothing's getting done, and he went for it, and he gave him a big hug, and that was the beginning of it. And there is Matty Bates, but a phenomenal story, well told by Riley Eichhoff about the engagement to Matty.
Is there ever a time you're more nervous than that? Asking.
Called strike 3 looking. No, don't think so. That's a hard one. But it generally turns out really well. And in the case of Riley.
I just had that conversation about 5 months ago.
With your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter got engaged.
Yeah.
And so, you know, her fiance now, Marcos, came in and flew in and had a conversation. We went to dinner. And I was as nervous as he was. Because as a dad, you are never ready for that conversation. I'm just going to tell you. And I'm still not ready for it. I'm not ready for the wedding coming up in August either. But it's going to happen.
Hey, you better be ready because you're paying for it.
Yeah. That part I figured out pretty quickly.
Well, Tommy Splain is now up. He picked up his 3rd straight strikeout, did Eickhoff. Splain is the senior. And the breaking pitch, the first one was close, the second one was not. And Danny's right. I mean, he did. He kept that ring in his locker. And every day you always look just to make sure it's there.
I'll tell you what, that two-seam fastball he's got a lot of left to right in it. And I love the way he's working right now. Sliders away, two-seam fastball, and he throws enough two-seamers into the right-handed hitters for Arizona where he speeds those bats up enough, forces them to get going, and then he slows it down with that breaking ball away.
Comes in again. He missed now 3 times with that pitch on the inside corner, and he falls behind 3-1.
You see his body language right there. He was not happy with that slider, but it's not so much about the movement of the pitch. It's now the count 3-1. He always wants to be ahead.
Through the eyes of Gregory Street, our home plate umpire, and now you hear him say, "Hee-haw, that's a strike." It seems like more and more in college the motto is let's get ahead and then we'll deal with it. And he throws another one up and in.
Well, for any pitcher pitching at any level, strike one is the most. I mean, you always look at pitching as not defense, offense. It's putting the hitter on defense right away where I can get to my off-speed pitch. If you're constantly pitching behind the count, I don't care what level you pitch at, it is hard to pitch. You throw strike one and you get ahead, you put hitters on defense right away. You can get to the off-speed pitch, the slider, the changeup. Hitters don't know what's coming at that point.
3-2. This ball pulled down the line, deep into the corner it goes, and it is off the wall. Splain hustles into second, and an about-face double for Tommy Splain, his 13th of the year.
He's been batting the team best .455 coming into this at-bat in the tournament, including 8 for 12 with 3 home runs on 4-seam fastballs. Ends up putting his hands in. Watch this location. Just trying to throw a strike, up and in, brings the arms in, and is able to keep the ball fair, quick.
Oh, he got those hands in tight to his body when he needed to get the barrel to it. That ball almost left the ballpark.
It did. You saw the 3-3-5 on the wall out there in left, and there's the 4-0-8, which is to dead center field. Backing up Eduardo's point, Splain has been on fire, and now the 9-hole hitter. And this one hard on the ground. It'll get the runner to third, fielded cleanly by Barthel, and there are 2 down. Easton Brayfogle retired.
Tell you what, Barthel got a little lucky on that because he came up with the glove, never put it down, and worked his way up. Ball with the bounce. He takes a couple steps and to his right and left, singing the praises right there.
We got all sorts of rally items. We got toys that have been used to get the team going. Bananas are a big thing with Arizona. Case in point. Summerhill will try to get the runner in from third. That's Splain, and this one is off his foot. He's down in some pain.
Those hurt. And it doesn't matter how much protection you have on your shin, it always tends to miss, either up or down. You buy insurance right in the middle, but watch where this hits. Oh,
Ouch.
That'll leave a mark.
Right on the unprotected part of the shin below the kneecap.
You ever ran into a trailer hitch in a parking lot off a truck? That's kind of what that's the only thing I know that feels like that. At nighttime, hurry getting through the parking lot, trying to get to your vehicle and run right into somebody's trailer hitch. You talk about leave a mark.
It seems to have happened to you on more than one occasion.
If it happened once, it was too many.
Summerhill pops it up, and this one's on the infield. Barthol is there. They'll strand the runner at third. Danny will talk with Chip Hale of Arizona. His team down 2-0 as we get set for the bottom of the third and a conversation with the manager.
Welcome back to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Coastal over Arizona. I'm with Chip Hale. What are you seeing from Owen Kramkowski early?
Yeah, obviously fell behind a little bit early on, but he's been getting a lot of swing and miss, which is good. You know, he had the tough play where he made a valiant dive at the ball, and that really kind of opened it up for them. But I thought he did a good job of limiting the damage here to 2 runs and still gives us a chance. So a lot of game left.
What are your guys saying when they come back in the dugout after facing Eichhoff?
Yeah, I think he's just moving the ball around. He's throwing his breaking ball for strikes more than I think we thought our lefties. So we got to make an adjustment, and we've had some really good at-bats, Tommy, and obviously Brendan is first at-bat.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Danny, thank you very much. Chip Hale, more and more comfortable in his role as Arizona manager / coach now. He's been with the Diamondbacks and now, of course, with the University. Called at the letters for a strike. As Barthol will lead things off, followed by Walker Mitchell and Colby Thorndike. 3, 4, and 5 for Coastal. And Coastal comes in as hot as any team has ever come into the College World Series. They have won 23 straight games. The most consecutive games won entering a College World Series in its history. 23 in a row. That's unheard of.
Now you got to go back to April the 22nd of this year was the last time that Coastal lost a ball game. That was against the College of Charleston.
Arizona has the shift on and a 1-2 count. Looks like he's trying to go the other way with it. It's open over there on that left side with the third baseman in a shift. That's an .828 winning percentage, which leads the country, and they've done it primarily on their arms. They're second in the ERA, third in WHIP, and their strikeout to walk ratio is amongst the best in the nation.
Yeah, we talked about that in the open, and when you normally talk, for instance, Coastal Carolina averaged 8.8 runs per game last year, one of the tops in the country. This year it's only 7.5, so it's a little over a run less than what they typically do. But the pitching is so improved. That 3.23 team ERA this year. Think about this. Last year they had a 5.83 team ERA.
Yeah, to where it is now, that's a world away. He got him, and another strikeout there for Kramkowski, who picks up his 4th. He keeps pitching well. Reminder of the Men's College World Series. We are rolling now at Omaha, Nebraska. The action will continue all week. The final series will start June 21st. For more information on the 2025 Men's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, which is the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. 75 years this sport has celebrated its World Series championship here in Omaha, Nebraska. It's been a great piece by Ryan McGee out there. You can find it on ESPN.com. Just talking about the relationship between college baseball and this city, the legends that have played here, the memories that have been made here. And it just gets better and better.
On us in.
Inside of Walker Mitchell. You guys both played here. You know what the word Omaha means and how it's impacted your life playing in multiple College World Series, right?
Well, I mean, all the falls, the 2-a-days, the getting up, the lifting weights. I mean, that's always the goal, is try to get to Omaha. 300 teams began that journey back in February, just trying to get here, and we're down to the best 8 in the country is where we are. There've been a lot of upsets this year getting here. You can start with Texas A&M, preseason #1 in everybody's poll. Virginia #2. They don't even make the field of 64, and then so many upsets in regional play. Vanderbilt was overall #1.
Yep.
Georgia was up there. Of course, Texas was #2. And it's been a year that I can't remember a year like that with so many upsets to our top seeds. 5 of the top 16 national seeds made it here. A lot of upsets along the way. Is it parity in baseball? I don't know, because we talked about last year. It was ACC and SEC, right? It was 4. Both had 4 teams here, but this year it is 6 different conferences. And don't forget about Oregon State. They're an independent team. They are here this year.
Yeah, along with UCLA, the West Coast represented 3 teams. 2-2 popped up. This one is barely getting to shallow center field, and with the sun shining, it is caught out there by Caulfield. '24, those were the 8 teams. We do not have any of those teams here. Tennessee got beaten late, so we will not have a repeat champion. And it's been a long time that you haven't had a team come back for the second year. And all of the banners represented in the bullpen in left field, which is what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, what, only the 4th time in World Series history we've not had a repeat team.
And it's kind of refreshing for a lot of universities that are looking for the hope, right? The mid-majors. You got Murray State in this College World Series. When you have Coastal Carolina, even though they say they're not a Cinderella and they shouldn't be, they have more wins than any other team here.
It's been that way, as the coach pointed out, as that's a really good off-speed pitch, and Thorndike swings and misses. The facilities, and Gary Gilmore, the great coach who spent so many years, formative years in the baseball program for Coastal, he would tell stories about walking on the field when he first took the job, stepping in like knee deep mud on the field, losing a boot. As this one slowly hit back to the pitcher, Ramkowski will fire, and that's a good throw. We'll talk more about Gary Gilmore. Delighted that he is in Omaha, getting a chance to watch the Chanticleers. We're through 3. They got a 2-0 lead over Arizona. Welcome back, everyone, to Omaha, Nebraska. Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, Ben McDonald, Danny Wexelman. And Gary Gilmore is up there. He's the one with the camouflage hat on. He has been taking pictures with all the Coastal fans. Winning the championship in 2016. Tells the story of the time early on where he was literally heading to hand in an application to be a physical education teacher. He was just at the end. Danny?
Yeah, I mean, guys, I think the important thing to know here is this is Gary Gilmore's first game seeing Coastal play this season. He wanted to give Kevin Schnall some space to take over as the head coach. And when we talked to Coach Schnall earlier today, he said the best thing Gary Gilmore did for me was give our staff autonomy. He let us have our roles and do our jobs. And so that's what Kevin is doing now. But Gary Gilmore, very first game of the season, is here back in Omaha, guys.
Yeah, they called him, said, we got a seat on the plane for you. As Aaron Walton fouls one off at the plate. That day he was driving to hand in an application to be a physical education teacher. He was driving by his church, said, I'm going to go see my pastor and just kind of talk through this decision. When he left the church, he went back the other way to Coastal Carolina. Became a Hall of Fame coach.
29 years there as a head coach.
Outside to Walton. He's dealt with some serious cancer, which appears to be in remission right now. He's got his family out here with him and very much enjoying retirement, which is great to see. Good man. Nasty pitch there from Eichhoff, who is throwing at a clip of 80+% strikes. That's 80+.
And the breaking ball spin rate, we're getting word 2,700 to 2,900 RPMs on this pitch right here. Big league average on a slider, talk about spin rate, is about 2,500. He's up there at 27 to 2,900. What does that mean? It means the breaking ball is going to be a little bit tighter, have a little bit more break than the average slider. And right now he is placing it perfect. Look at that strike to ball ratio right there. 27 strikes, only 7 walks.
It's an amazing percentage for Mason White. Gets the call in the corner. So Ben, you heard him say, the head coach Chip, his ability to move the ball around against lefties, they maybe caught them by surprise a little bit.
Yeah, because he's using that breaking ball to the inside part of the plate. And he's starting to kind of in the middle. And that's kind of what he's doing, is just east to west right there. There's a two-seamer down and away. And then he'll take that slider, use the same window, start it in the same spot. But instead of it going left to right, this one's going right to left and trying to get down and in and underneath the left-handed bats.
White sends this one deep to left field. Heading into the corner is Alexander. He leaps up, and it is over his glove and into the dugout, the bullpen.
Did that ball not hit in his glove?
It looked like he had it for a second, but a home run for Mason White the other way.
And this is what Alexander does around the fence. Everywhere he goes in Coastal, on the road, he works on these, and he had a really good beat to it. Look how close he gets to making this catch.
Wow.
Still had elevation, perfectly timed, just beat him to the punch.
How about that swing by Mason White, though, huh? He goes up top shelf on a fastball away from him.
The hometown kid delivers his 20th home run of the year and now 49 in his career. It's a 2-1 game. And this one is driven to right field into the corner. Pato going back, still going. Ouch, he bangs into the wall, and it comes all the way back towards the infield. Guzman will be putting the brakes on at second, as Arizona has swung it here a couple of times and gotten good results.
Yeah, Guzman not waiting around the first time up, base hit up the middle on the first pitch. This time executes again, aggressive, knows Eichhoff is in the zone. Ends up at second base. Even for a catcher, I thought at the time he should have been at third base right here with one out.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I love the approach by Arizona here in this inning. They're letting that ball get a little bit deeper. You get a backside home run by White, and then Guzman goes to the backside of the field and drives the ball all the way up against the right field wall. So what does that tell me as a pitcher? They're letting the ball travel a little bit more. They want to see that breaking ball a little bit longer and then hit the fastball to the backside of the field.
That ball may have gone off the end of Pato's glove too, and he went hard into that wall, which has tremendous amount of padding on the bottom of it.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now in his knee as well in right field, trying to flex it as much as he can.
Yeah, this field today is playing. It's as gettable as we've seen it, right? It's gettable to hit the long ball today. Yesterday during batting practice, we all saw it. Wind was pushing hard in straightaway center field out of south. It was hard to get it out.
Look at how close both of these defenders were to catching it. That one over the head for the home run from White. What, 5 inches? This one even closer. It almost looks like it hit right off the end of a string at the end of his glove.
Yeah, right off the lace. We see that left knee banging into the bottom part of the wall. There's no padding on the bottom part. Straight into the concrete.
A home run, a double. 1 down, 2-1 now in favor of Coastal. And Mikalakis bats.
Whoa. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do against a two-seam pitcher. If you want to hit it in the air, you have to let it travel and hit it the other way. If you try to pull, right on the ground.
Dominic Carbone, one of those, starting to stretch in the Coastal bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Great point, Ben. You look at that flag in center field, it is sleeping on the pole out there. It's not moving.
And that was a changeup, and Eichhoff hadn't thrown it. It's been pretty much heavy 2- and 4-seam fastball with that slider, but that was a really good changeup down and away.
That ball laced. That's a fair ball. It's going to get down. This game's going to be tied. Coming in is Guzman. Mikalakis to second with a double. A homer and back-to-back doubles. Arizona's tied it up at 2.
Second time around the order, it seems like Arizona is starting to make the adjustments. Mikalakis right there, just bringing the hands in. Again, a beautiful ability of being able to recognize this changeup. Stays through it, doesn't cut off the swing, and ends up trading places with Guzman at second.
He went to school, Eddie, on that first changeup. He swung and missed the first changeup. He said, you know what, I'm going to sit back just a little bit more. And he got another pitch of back-to-back changeups, and you talk about on time with that one.
A little more urgency perhaps in Coastal's bullpen as we now have a tie game. And Garen Caulfield, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play up. Good speed at second base, and Mikalakis, and that one misses. Pretty much, Ben, 2-pitch pitcher.
Pretty much, but
two-seamer. So do you have to do something else?
I think we saw him start to use the changeup a little bit. I think he's got to start to mix the changeup again. They're going through the lineup now for the second time, and it's great as a pitcher if you can kind of get through the lineup the first time, only using 1 or 2 pitches, and then maybe the second time through, you get to something else.
Tag to center field and deep, running it down out there is Sykes. What a play. Heading to third, and he will stand there safely. Is Mikalakis, but another rocket off the bat of an Arizona hitter. Caulfield gave that thing a ride, and Sykes tracked it down.
I tell you, the Wildcats are making some adjustments at the plate, folks, here in this inning right here. Watch the center fielder, Sykes, right here. Often moving the first step, always the most important for an outfielder. A little crossover, and really easily ran that ball down in the left center field gap.
He did. He got top speed immediately, maybe like in the second or third. But watch Mikalakis at second base. Usually you're taught to be halfway. He read exactly where the center fielder Sykes was, immediately went back to the bag, and is able now to be 90 feet away from scoring with 2 outs.
For Andrew Kane, struck out looking his first time up. And this one is popped up. Shallow center field. Sykes coming in. He will make the play. He went back and he came in, and that will do it in the inning, Eddie.
And when you try to sneak another fastball by an elite hitter in college baseball, this is what happens. Mason White making the adjustments, representing Tucson via Arizona with an opposite field home run. Arizona ties this 2-2.
Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth. We're tied at 2. I'm with Coastal's head coach. Sorry, Kevin Schnell. I thought the ball was coming. Hey, what did you think of your defense in the top half of that frame?
Well, that was a big play by Wells Sykes there to run it down, and we walked out of that inning and not giving up the big inning, which was really big for us.
And with Riley Eichhoff, how much longer will you stick with him?
We're discussing that now. He left 1 ball up, and you know, their 3-hole hitter's a really good hitter, and he was able to get a good swing on it. But you know, ultimately Riley's done a great job. But you know, we're discussing that now, potentially go to the bullpen next inning.
What did you see from his secondary pitches?
Well, the slider was really good. I mean, that sweeper that he throws was really good. Like I said, he left a couple pitches up, and they capitalized in that inning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
guys.
They are warming up Cameron Flukie, who is one of those 3 starters. Good pitch there from Kramkowski to get Pato, I should say. So he strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts. And how about the psychology for Kramkowski, Ben, to be back in a game now?
Yeah, you get a little bit more energy. You give up 2 early, and then your team comes right back, puts a 2 spot on the scoreboard. So you got a new ball game right here. And as a pitcher, that gives you a little bit more energy, a little more enthusiasm. And we always talk about these shutdown innings, right? When your team goes out there and ties the ball game up, so important for you to go stack a 0. Because right now, all the momentum on Arizona's side.
For Ty Dooley, as the defense shifts again, expecting the ball to be rolled over to the right, and he is starting to pour in another one. That's for a strike. That ball is perfectly placed by Ty Dooley. Vacated shortstop, he delivers a 1-out single.
Allowing the ball to get deep. Dooley is very patient, doesn't swing usually at that first pitch, only a 13.5% rate on it. The second pitch, not letting it go by. Fastball right down the middle. Hitting it hard into the vacated spot.
Well, neither one of these teams right now missing balls in the heart of the plate. If you leave it in the heart of the plate right now, it is getting turned around.
So Dooley at first, he's 2 for 2. Dean Miho struck out his first time up. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, that's exactly what he saw last time up when he was struck out. Back-to-back sliders. First one for a strike, maybe the rest for chase.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Interesting, we talked with Chip Hale about how quick you might have a hook, and he said, you know, double elimination, we're not going to be too quick. And it seems like Kramkowski settled it, and yet you look out the Coastal bullpen, and they're using a guy that would otherwise be a starter in Flukie to warm up. That ball is lined into center field and past the dive of White. Station to station they go. Mijos with his first hit.
On the back end of this Coastal Carolina offense, they've done it the entire postseason. Talk about staying on the ball right there. Let it travel and just hits a line drive right back up the middle. So first and second for Coastal with just one out.
And there is Fluky. He, along with Eichhoff, and the guy who is absolutely going to start in game 2, Jacob Morrison, who's 11-0. Combined, the 3 starters are 24-3 this season.
Yeah, and all 3 of them are strike throwers.
Well, Sykes' star has shined early.
Okay, one thing that I noticed last time Kronkowski had a runner at second base, when he comes set, he looks at the runner, then looks at home and immediately throws the pitch. Never does a double look. Coastal Carolina might be on it. They're very aggressive on the bases. Takes a look, home, and then he goes.
Slow roller to third, to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. It was slowly hit off the bat of Sykes, and Mikalakis threw to Caulfield, and that was it. 2 down, runners on the corners.
Not going to turn 2 on that ball. Not hit hard enough. Make sure you get 1 out, and that's exactly what Arizona does.
And here's Boddine again with a big chance. Remember, last time he came up, hit a rocket to right on a line, and he was retired.
I want to see how many pitches Boddine is going to see here. Open base, second base, with Alexander up next, who's 0 for 2. Boddine being their best hitter.
Sykes fakes to go, and that pitch is at the letters for a called strike.
Saw it early, good low ball hitter. Arizona attacking early on the top part of the zone.
This kid right here, Kaden Boddine, will be playing at the major league level. And Sykes is off, and that one is fouled off the foot of Boddine. Coastal coach went so far as to say that he believes Kaden Boddine could catch in the major leagues today.
He was an elite receiver, also catch and throw. It's not that he is elite quick, but he's very accurate with his throws at second base, as we saw in the first inning.
Infield shifts. Sykes 17 stolen bases on the season, and he's going again, and they will not throw down. So second and third on the 18th steal of the season for Sykes. Huge spot for Coastal in the 4th after Arizona just tied it in the top half.
And careful here. You got first base open. This is when you're going to make your pitch.
He does make his pitch. Good one there. Boddine is gone. And twice now they have been able to get Kaden Boddine with men on.
Second and third and 2 out. And I tell you what, Owen Kronkowski, watch this pitch right here, folks. Lean on that breaking ball, kid. A perfect breaking ball down and in to get the Wildcats off the field.
Cameron Fluky, who has been rock solid this season. Sophomore at 6'6", 210 out of New Jersey.
Yeah, making his 17th appearance. Big kid, 6'6". Look at those numbers: 7-1, 91 2/3. How about 106 strikeouts? Only 21 walks.
Give me a little challenge here, Ben, because he's made all those appearances, but this is the first relief appearance this season. The last one was back in June of 24 against Clemson.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, you know, when you come in out of the bullpen, because you don't have quite as much time as you normally would. Although he was up and throwing last inning. There's Riley Eichhoff's numbers on the day. Gave up those 2 runs. Didn't walk a batter as usual. 4 strikeouts for him. Fluky's got a good arm, though. Fastball is going to average 95. He'll show you a 6 and a 7 from time to time. Little cutter, a slider, and a curveball, and a changeup. So it's a 5-pitch mix for Fluky.
All right, so Fluky will start with Splain, the 8-hitter, and that first pitch is poured in there for a strike.
That is right over the top. 4-seamer. See if you can hit it at 96.
Splain, then Brayfogle, and back to the top of the order. 2-2, 5th inning. Game 1 of this World Series, and he does swing at it, pops it up to right. And it comes down in the glove of Pato. So good start. One up, one down.
And I like this for Coastal right here because you get a totally different pitcher. A pitcher that's going to throw a harder fastball, and he's going to throw a lot of four-seamers to the top of the zone. Eichhoff was more of an east to west pitcher staying down. You get a little bit different look right here. And it's going to be heavy on the fastball for Fluky, too. He's going to throw that fastball about 64% of the time.
Easton Brayfogle hit it hard on the ground to second his first time up, was retired. He swings at the first one, and another one popped up. This one to center field. And we send it to Danny.
Carl, thanks so much. I'm sitting here with a legend, College World Series champion, head coach Gary Gilmore. You are surrounded by your family in the stands. People have been coming up to you all day so far. How's it feel being back?
It's definitely weird and different. You're not in that dugout, but you know, it's a surreal experience for me to be able to see all the players and the love on both sides of that. You know, from them and from me back to them. So you know, it's really a cool moment in my life.
Your 2016 team is just a couple seats down. How special is that?
That group made this possible. You know, without it, you know, somebody had to break that barrier for us, and that group did it. And you know, we were the Cinderella, we were the Murray State of that World Series, and you know, we found a way to win. This team here is incredibly talented and well coached, and you know, I'm very proud of the staff and what they've done and the development of this group of players.
One more quick one on Kevin Schnall, who took over for you. How proud are you of him?
Oh my goodness, you know, Kevin waited a long time. I mean, he could have left many times to go be a head coach different places, and you know, he bled teal and black like I did, and you know, a lot of the culture, a lot of the things that we all did together. You know, he was a huge influence in all that part, and so happy for him. He gets to do this. You know, making me look pretty bad, makes me look awful easy. You know, it took me 21 years to do this. He did it in one.
I really appreciate you. Thanks for being. We're so happy that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you,
guys.
Yeah, he built the foundation, and Schnall played in '99, the Big South Conference Player of the Year.
Yeah, you talk about Schnall putting his time in to be a head coach. How about 24 years as an assistant coach before he got the head job? That's putting your time in there.
Yeah, and he left. I mean, he did leave. He went to Central Florida. He was a hitting coach or a recruiting coordinator. I asked him about that. He said, well, in the end, it may have been a little bit selfish, but he went out there. He kind of tested the waters and realized there was one place that he wanted to be. And you just heard Gilly say it, wearing that teal and black.
Sometimes the grass it's right greener somewhere else or on the other side. And the one thing that I've noticed so far with Fluky is the explosion on his fastball, right? It just gets on you quickly. It's hard to get it on the ground, so you're going to see a lot of foul balls and a lot of pop-ups, and we've already seen 2 of those in play and a lot of out of play.
Well, think about this. He's 6'6" too, Eddie, with that velocity he has and that length that he has is too.
This one hit well, but it's caught out there in left field by Sebastian Alexander. Gilly likes it. The move to Cameron Fluky pays off. Bottom 5 coming up. CCU when we return. Yeah, neither team has walked a batter, Ben. In fact, we've had only 2 3-ball counts in this game. Seabass, nickname of Sebastian Alexander, he'll lead things off. Swings at the first one and fouls it back. Kramkowski and his buddy on the staff, the right-handed pitcher Smith Bailey, they're both they both accepted invitations to participate in the USA Baseball Collegiate National Team this summer in Cary, North Carolina. That's for 56 of the non-draft eligible college players. Ooh, breaking pitch hit him, and that is hit batter. No, he said he stuck the elbow out, and that's going to leave him at the plate.
It's a great call. Great call by Gregory Street. Recognition of the Chanticleers not to be able to move out, but he did stick that elbow out there. He's got the guard. Watch from the point of view of Gregory Street. I got him sticking it out.
I got him.
That's a tough call.
I got him leaving it right where it was. He just didn't move it.
Again, the rule is this. You don't have to get out of the way of the ball. You just can't make an attempt to go towards the ball and try to get hit. And this is where I part with home plate umpires, right? I mean, you're trying to see if the ball is a ball or a strike. Can you see ball, strike, and try to see a move to the ball as well?
You mean to tell me, and this is interesting because you're a pitcher, and usually pitchers go the other way and say, oh, yeah, and I get it. You don't have to get out of the way.
Challenging the intentional hit by pitch.
I love that all these can be challenged.
Oh,
I love that they can be challenged. But right here from this angle.
Let's see if he makes an attempt to go to the ball, or does he just simply leave it where it started?
I think this is the best angle.
All right, elbows coming down, bats coming down.
He just left it right where it was.
He left it right there.
Right.
But watch where the elbow is. It's not in the box. I get everything you're saying. You're in the box. Your feet is, especially from this angle right here.
But the call is he's saying he made a move to the ball.
Yeah, he did.
Correct?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I did not see.
I'm really interested
I did not
to see what
see a
happens here.
move to the ball.
Hit by batter, hit by pitch is a reviewable play.
And
Let's really do and check the intent of the batter.
170.
Yeah.
You have to repeat it. More than any other team in college baseball getting hit by pitches.
14 more. It's not even close. I mean, this is what Coastal does. They hang in there. They lead the entire country in hit by pitches with 170 of them. If this holds up, it'll be 171.
And Ben, this is something they practice.
Yeah.
In the fall, they have light flight balls, and they require their batters to get hit. Here's the call.
At the further review, the calls stand hit by pitch to be a strike. The count going to be 0-2 with Coastal have one challenge remaining.
And again, is there enough to overturn it? You got to have the evidence to be able to overturn a call.
100%.
Yeah, again, it is something literally that they practice. They require their guys to get in there, get hit by 3 or so pitches. They've had players get hit by upwards of 15 to 30 pitches this season during a game, and that is a check swing. Similar swing. That one got the bat. Difficult call for our home plate umpire, Gregory Sweet, and I gotta believe that Arizona has made it clear to Gregory Sweet. They've been hit 170 times. Let's make sure they're not leaning into anything.
Couple of balls in. Watch out for the slider down and away here.
Shift on against Sebastian Alexander. It was, but it missed. Kramkowski's just a sophomore. Big 12 all-conference honorable mention. Full season in the weekend rotation. He has come very quickly. That's off.
And again, if you miss it, a kid that threw an inning and a third last year for Arizona. You go from throwing an inning to a third starting game 1 at the College World Series just a year later.
'69th pitch of the day. That's a good one. Called strike 3 at 94 miles an hour.
Well, you can't throw a backdoor two-seamer any better than that, folks, right there. I love this pitch right here. If you got a two-seam fastball and you can start it off the outside edge, because the hitter gives up on it, right? You see it off the plate and you flinch just for a second. That ball just quickly works back just over the outside edge. Well done by Kramkowski.
A lot of credit, guys, what you're talking about goes to the pitching coach, right? Kevin Vance, and then their director of pitching development and performance, John DeRoyne. When we talked to Owen earlier in the week, he said, these two guys allow me to be myself. When I tell them this is how I feel, they believe me and they trust me. They don't push their own agendas on me, and that's so rare. He said, I rarely shake off these guys, and they've allowed me some autonomy, put the responsibility on myself. But this was his dream school. This is where he wanted to be his whole life, and the pitching staff here has done wonders with him.
Yeah, 0-2, Danny. Good point. He gets ahead of Blake Barthol.
It's so important to have a pitching coach and a catcher to be on the same, sync with you as a pitcher, because it gives me confidence to know that, okay, I have the freedom to shake if I need to. I don't have to be a robot out there. If I'm feeling something else, he may want breaking ball, but I don't have confidence in the breaking ball right now. I want to go to something else. And that's kind of what Kramkowski is saying, is he has freedom to kind of do what he wants. There's always a game plan, but I can pivot from that game plan if I choose to.
He is now pounding the strike zone. He's gone back-to-back strikeouts to end the 4th and start the 5th. He's got 7 in the game.
And Barthol already has 2 of those 7 at the plate already with 2 strikes, 0-2. Last 2 times he's gotten him out with that slider in after the fastball accelerating his bat.
This ball laced up the middle. He will not get him for a third time in this plate appearance as Blake Barthol delivers a center field single. We'll head to Los Angeles. Our Sunday Night Baseball featuring the first and second place teams in the National League West. It is the Dodgers and the Giants. 7 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at a special time, 5 o'clock Eastern time, with Sunday Night Countdown. So out to Los Angeles, the Giants have surprised a lot of teams this year. Their pitching is phenomenal. And what a pitching matchup tonight in that one with Logan Webb and Yoshi Yamamoto to get that series rolling. Ball down to Walker Mitchell. They've had a runner on in every inning except the third. And their 8 hits have all been for singles. They've had a runner in scoring position in the first, second, and fourth. It's outside. Looks like Walker Mitchell had a good look at that one. Gronkowski's best start this year, 8 2/3, 3 runs against Arizona State.
Yeah, Gronkowski's not given a ton of length this year. He averages about 5 1/3 per start. He's only going over 100 pitches twice so far this year. He's at 76 right now.
And now action in that Arizona Wildcat bullpen. Casey Hintz, who can give them multiple innings. 3-0 to Walker Mitchell. That's in there for a strike. Well, College World Series, for those that have followed it, know winning game 1 is critical. You can go 2-0 and you really find yourself in the driver's seat. You fall behind in the greatest show on dirt, losing the first game, and it is a real mountain to climb. 3-1, runner goes. That's high, ball 4, and he will head to first base. So it's first and second with 1 down on the first walk of the game. Appropriately enough to Walker.
Both guys that really had not done much offensively this inning, both get on via the hit and the walk.
Looks like we're going to have another conversation with Gronkowski on the mound to give Hintz some time to throw some more warm-up pitches.
Yeah, Coastal today 2 for 9 runners in scoring position to this point. Arizona 1 for 5.
As both know, too, when you come here, oftentimes it's not necessarily the superstar of the team. Christian Moore, who just got called up by the Angels, the former great Tennessee Volunteer, had a phenomenal World Series. But oftentimes it's somebody else, whether it's a pitcher, a reliever. Certainly the 2016 team for Coastal had a few of those guys that just showed up and delivered for them.
Well, that's almost what you have to have, right? To get to the College World Series, you got to have guys kind of elevate their game through regional play. And then once you get to this point, if you're going to make a deep run or win the College World Series, oftentimes, as your point, you have to have guys that elevate their game, that do a little bit more than what they've done throughout the season.
28 of the last 34 titles won by a team that started 2-0 in Omaha. 28 of the last 34. Colby Thorndike now with 2 on. Swings at the first one, and a lazy fly ball to right field. Tagging and heading to third, and he will get in there with a slide. An aggressive base running move by Blake Barthol.
Yeah,
Get down to third.
Very aggressive right there, especially with the second out made on the fly ball to right field. You better be sure 100% that you can get there.
Yep.
Now with runners on the corner, it plays a little bit different, and it puts a lot of pressure on Guzman behind the plate on anything in the dirt.
Yeah, and that was a good pitch for Summerhill to get to third base, too, because he had time to get behind that ball out in right field and make a good, strong throw to right field. But this is Coastal Carolina. I mean, look, we talked about it. This is what they do. They find ways to pressure up your defense. They force you to make mistakes.
Last time they were in this situation, the runner at first took off and got in the second without a throw. Mitchell's got 11 steals at first base. He's not going. It's a good job right there by Guzman. You called it. That gets by him, and it's a 3-2 game.
That's big time, and that's the one that you don't have time to slide over and get in front of. You know, you limit yourself, in my opinion, when you go to one knee. When you're on one knee, you can't move laterally like you want to. The only chance you got here is a backhand pick, and boy, you can't do it any better than what Guzman just did it.
Out of the Bronx, went to Boston College and ended up University of Arizona.
Pato fouls one off at the plate.
That's such a good play, especially with a runner just 90 feet away.
Their pitching coach, Kevin Vance, of course, all sorts of experience, UConn, BC. So he knew what Guzman was capable behind the plate. When your pitching coach loves a catcher, that's a pretty good endorsement. Pato singled and scored in the second. Stares at one right down the middle.
Asked Guzman if his parents were going to be here. Said, oh yes, they're staying in an Airbnb, and I'm hoping that mom can cook some of her oxtails. Thinking of food all the time.
Nice.
Another big opportunity for Coastal. Can Kramkowski get out of it?
Slider away, maybe? Yes, it was.
Stayed a little up, though. Maybe a little too good of a pitch.
Pitching in 84-degree heat in the center of focus in the middle of this diamond. Owen Kramkowski, the sophomore. 1-2 to Pato. Runner goes. Hits it through the hole. Heading to third base after that steal and a clutch hit from Pato. He will score Barthel, and it's now 3-2 in favor of Coastal.
And this is a defensive mistake up the middle. There was not going to be, and there shouldn't have been, a throw to second base with runners at the corners. If there is not, the second baseman has to stay put. Should not be breaking to second if Guzman is not going to be throwing through. Saw it last time again. First and third, runner tries to steal. You have to keep your position. Guzman was not standing up to go anywhere. Base hit right there. Coastal Carolina taking advantage of a defensive mishap.
Yeah, I get it. If it's one out, maybe you try to go, but with two out, hold your position, I feel like. Collect the out, get off the field.
First and third for Ty Dooley. Strike one. The aggressiveness of Coastal Carolina on the bases. The tag to third base. The steals on first and third. They constantly put pressure on the defense. Dooley looking for his third hit. Runner goes. He hits it on the ground, fielded by the shallow right fielder in the shift, and they do get the out. But again, Coastal Carolina pushing the envelope, forcing the action through 5. Teal and Black got a 1-run lead. College World Series, the Arizona Wildcats and the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. It's been a very well-pitched, well-played game. A 3-2 advantage for Coastal Carolina. They beat them back in the 2016 World Series Finals. They got a 1-run lead as we go to the 6th inning. Reminder, this is double elimination. Arizona, Coastal kicking things off a little later tonight. Louisville, Oregon State. Chris Budden will be the reporter on the field. We'll have Mike Monaco and Kyle Peterson, Chris Burke in the booth. Murray State, UCLA tomorrow at 2 Eastern time. And then the big one, a lot of folks excited about it. Tickets really hard, if not impossible, to come by for Arkansas and LSU Saturday night special. Flukie back on the mound now, working a second inning, and he pitches with the lead. It's 2, 3, and 4. Aaron Walden, Mason White, and Adonis Guzman. And he hit him, and he will be given his base.
This is great. 170 by Coastal Carolina, yet it's Arizona that gets the first hit by pitch. And this one is not contested.
The home run hitter, Mason White, will be next up. And this may be just a quick question here from Coastal about that hit by pitch and what the difference was between that one and the one that was called a strike.
What do you got on that one, Big Ben?
Just kind of left it there. And with that big old arm guard, why would you move it?
Here's White, who remembers watching Coastal beat Arizona. He described it as heartbreaking. And a big swing as he was going for a 2-run shot. He's already got a homer, and this one went the other way, just over the glove of the outfielder, but strong power from Mason White.
Impressive power going the other way. Same situation now, wind blowing a little bit harder than last time towards left.
Good off-speed pitch for a strike to Mason White, who basically went unrecruited out of South Point Catholic High School, 5'11", and he joined this Wildcat program in 21. Runner goes, foul ball.
I like what Chip Hale did there. One of the big reasons. Fluky very slow to the plate, high leg kick. Get the runner in motion, especially with 2 strikes, hoping that it was going to be a breaking pitch.
Well, you can tell that home run where Mason White likes it. And you got to be real careful where you're throwing when you're pitching him, kind of up and away, because that's the exact ball that he hit for a home run.
Mason White's father and grandfather both went to Arizona. Runner goes again. He swings and fouls another one straight back. He's fairly stoic too, and you could tell after they clinched the Super to punch their ticket to Omaha, Mason White was fairly emotional. The kid living his dream. There's Ben, his dad, 1993 to 96. Now a chance for Mason to leave a legend.
And look where Mason White stands on the plate. I mean, he gets his toes right up on the plate, and he likes to get there so he can get to the ball on the outside part of the plate. If you watch his hands are nearly hanging over. Boy, they playing with fire right there, I'm telling you.
Now they got to throw a wrinkle.
No, it's either a wrinkle or try to dot an I on the inside part of the plate if you have confidence to get your fastball and shove it to the inside part of the plate, because everything has kind of been middle away.
But if you miss in.
Right. I mean,
over.
You pitch to the count, right? 0-2 count. So I'm aiming for the edge. If I miss, I know I'm going in the inside part of the plate, just off the inside part. But show him something on the inside part of the plate.
Chip Hale took about a 15-20 minute drive from the University of Arizona to South Point Catholic after Dave Lawn said, you should go check this kid out. He saw him, recognized the talent, said, I want you to be my shortstop. That was the end of that conversation. White was on board. We got a good battle going here with a whole host of foul balls. 7th pitch of the at-bat. This is a field loaded with phenomenal infielders. Many have played together on the Cape. There's your off speed, and he just missed in.
If he can dot in right now with the fastball, I think he gets him.
Yeah, that's where I've been trying to get the ball for a couple pitches now.
14 extra base hits on a fastball this season for White.
Now the thing is, we can sit here and talk about what he should do. The question is, can he do that, right? Does he have the confidence to shove a fastball at 96 on the inside part?
The White family probably feeling pretty good, man. Our kid right now has fouled off a handful of pitches. This time he puts it in play, drifting over towards the line. And was there interference there? We had a runner now at second base. The umpires are pointing. Schnall is out. White hasn't left the box. They call a balk? What happened there?
I believe they called the balk. Runner advances to second base. You get a free swing out of it. It's exactly what White did, and a really good executed pitch as well.
Finally got a fastball in, and he got that fastball in and got a weak pop up.
Well, of all the extra base hits that White has been able to get this year, everything has been down and away.
1-2. Inside, drilled.
What a great at-bat.
Yeah, Dad and Grandpa, and that's going to bring the pitching coach out for a conversation for Fluky, remember, who is the second pitcher of the day for Coastal. That's a good break here, right after a balk. Then you come inside, first base open, you hit White.
And that's what we were talking about. Does he have the confidence to pitch inside? And that's what happens a lot of times, and why at the collegiate level we don't pitch inside as much as probably should is pitchers don't have the confidence enough to execute a good fastball on the inner third of the plate.
Well, this conversation is to give him a breather to reset, and also to explain that Adonis Garcia, the last 2 times up, has been aggressive at the plate. Swung at the first pitch, 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah, Guzman has scored a run as well in the 4th inning. Back-to-back hit batters. He was ahead in the count to White. Would you have managed that differently, Ben? You had 2 strikes on him. First base is open. He's their best hitter.
I mean, I like the curveball he just missed in. If that ball is over the plate, I think it's a strikeout. Look, and he just got it a little bit too far in. Then he tried to shove the fastball to the inside part of the plate and ends up hitting the batter.
Well, fascinating in this double elimination tournament. They moved their chips to the center of the table, did Coastal, by taking out their starter Eichhoff. They bring in Fluky, who otherwise would be a starter, in hopes of keeping this either tied or now with this 1-run lead. And now they get some trouble with first and second and nobody out, and Adonis Guzman, who singled and doubled. He squares. They will not throw behind. That's ball off the plate.
Chip Hale got together with his offense, have a conversation with him. Adonis Guzman there shows bunt, still showing that bat. I still believe he's going to be swinging here, even them being down 1 with no outs, runners at first and second.
Two balls and no strikes from Fluky.
Now you let him swing away 2-0. Because he's likely getting a fastball here.
His last outing against Auburn, he walked 3 and struck out 4. 2-0. Gets the call on the outside corner and down 2-1 at 96.
Guzman, not a fast runner, double play candidate, but this is not a double play pitcher on the mound. A lot of fly balls. I think Guzman here shows bunt 2-1.
Plenty of room in left center field with Sykes, the center fielder, shaded towards right. He squares, lays it down. It's a hard one, and it's fair, and it's through. And boy, you saw Walton give a look over his shoulder. A vacated spot at short. They are loaded on a perfectly executed bunt by Guzman.
What Arizona is doing is giving Coastal Carolina a little bit of their own medicine. 2 hit by pitches and then the bunt to put a little chaos with defense. Shortstop goes, covers second, and hits it right off the barrel, stabs at it, and no one is there. Vacated area at shortstop. Great angle here by camera 33, checking it all out. Third baseman covers third. Now bases loaded. Coastal Carolina.
And as a pitcher in first and second, my responsibility is the third base line. So I'm going to put that one on Fluky, right? Because when you let the ball go, you got to know where you're responsible for covering. And you can't stand on the mound when a bunt happens. You got to be bouncing slightly towards third base. And if you're bouncing right there, you collect it out. But instead, Fluky delivered the ball and stood on the mound, because first and second, nobody out. It's the pitcher's responsibility towards the third base line.
0-1, Nikolakis sends one down the line that is still tailing, and it's going to get into the seats.
That's the old bunt play number 2, been around forever.
I get it, but as a former third baseman as well, you also have to read where that ball is going. If the shortstop's covering second, it's your job as a third baseman to read and try to go after that ball as well. He went immediately towards the bag.
Yep.
35 RBI for Maddox Michaelakis. Did that one hit him in the foot? No call from the umpire, and coming in from third, he's saying it hit him in the foot.
It almost sounded like it hit him in the foot.
It certainly did, but the home plate umpire, Street's pointing him back. The game will be tied. This is again reviewable, and that's what Michaelakis is saying. It sounded like it hit him in the foot.
And his reaction, guarantee you this one did, and Gregory Street, the home plate umpire, just did not see it.
You could hear a little bit of a tick. Something sounded different, like it hit something.
Yeah.
Got him on the left toe.
Yeah, it ricocheted away. Yep, that's going to be the third hit batter of the inning. And the game is going to be tied after this review.
Did not see this coming. 3 hit by pitches in this inning for the Wildcats.
And 2 of them have been in 2-strike counts.
Nicholas had hit, I should say Fluky had hit 8 the entire season. 3 in this inning. They stay loaded for Caulfield. Now for Coastal, they got to be careful. Arizona's got a chance to blow this thing open. Nobody out. Strike at the letters. Fluky finds himself in a big jam. Hayden Johnson, the lefty, starting to warm for Coastal. Garen Caulfield. Missed, 1 ball, 1 strike. Caulfield 0 for 2, double play. He grounded in, flew out to center field. That's in there for a strike. Huge spot in this game. 3-3 6th inning, game 1 of this World Series. Caulfield beats it into the ground to second. Barthol, they took time to get it out of the glove, and there's no double play. Dooley seemed to have trouble transferring it, and it's 4-3 Arizona. They get just 1 out.
Really well executed pitch on the outer half, and you get the contact. Infield corners were playing back, middle infield and double play depth, but as soon as he has to go to his left, takes that step, good speed down the first, you're able to get that force out.
Watch Dooley right there.
Still get 1.
A little bit of trouble on the transfer, like he didn't get a good grip on it.
White has scored. Guzman's at third. Caulfield's at first.
Arizona's first lead of this afternoon.
Andrew Kane. Inside, ball 1. Hard to get through an inning unscathed when you hit 3 batters. Arizona has scored 2 in this inning. Missed inside, 2 balls, no strikes. 3 hit batters. Ben, how long do you leave Fluky? I know he's a starter.
I think you give him 1 more batter here and see if he can get an out. And again, he doesn't create a lot of ground balls. Eddie said it earlier. He's not a ground ball pitcher. He is a fly ball guy. And a deep enough fly ball here nets you another run.
That graphic, you have to know that all teams that make it to Omaha have had games in which they've had to come from behind. The cardiac cats, if you will, have been comfortable in this position. 2-1 to Kane. Swings and a little blooper that is fouled by about 10 feet. Andrew Kane is the designated hitter. 2 homers, 15 RBI on the season. All the technology that teams have, 96 is something they see daily. That's what Fluky is throwing up right now to Andrew Kane. He went off speed. Arizona back after being here in Omaha in 2021. Their .288 batting average, the lowest of the 8 College World Series teams. But the ARA Blue Blood, this is their 19th trip to the College World Series. Kane is gone. He pulled the string at 77.
Boy, you talk about a tough adjustment for a hitter to make, right? You see a 95 to 97, and you get 18 to 20 miles per hour off on a really good breaking ball. And what I love about his breaking ball is he throws a lot of high fastballs. He can throw that breaking ball kind of out of that same window, start in the same spot. Yeah, the last time Arizona was at the College World Series, Jay Johnson.
That's right.
Was the head coach.
Now, of course, the head man at LSU right after the last trip here, he left for Baton Rouge. Tommy Splain with a double. And he's ahead of that one. Splain, the senior, hard in the hole, backhanded, short hop, and a nice play at first by Thorndike as he dug out the throw from Dooley. Arizona scores in the 6th, 2 runs. They do not hit a ball out of the infield. They lead 4-3.
And he saw a toy car and it was fate. And so because of that, they have had a toy car at every game since Houston, in the regionals, in the super regionals. And there's a drone here on the bench. I feel like our production team would really love. It's given out pregame. Every single game they rally around, and it was the drone this time, guys, that was given out. It's really cool. There's no story behind it this time, just the drone. That's what they found at the store, and they brought it here for the game.
Sure. Obviously, you know, College World Series, you got to step up your toys. You go from a car to a drone.
Well, we stepped up our toys as well.
You love that, don't you?
We do, right?
Camera 33?
Yes.
I like
it's
camera
floating
33.
around.
It goes right by us, just about the same level we are.
That's the look from that new camera. Grateful for the opportunity to show it to you as Casey Hintz now on the mound as he takes over. And you can see Hintz, a little funky delivery. The right-hander will go down low, side armor.
Yeah, a little bit different look. Not an explosive fastball. Fastball is going to be 88, 89, but that is the pitch for him right there. It's that slider. Opponent's hitting 354 off his fastball, but only 190 on that pitch right there, that slider.
And he uses it about 40 to 50% of the time, depending on the situation. But a good start for Dean Mijos. He leads off the 6th with a single. And Mijos is 2 for 3.
And it's the first time since the 2nd inning that Coastal Carolina has had their leadoff hitter on base to start the inning.
There's a good look at that little slider right there. But see where that ball set? It's set right in the heart of the plate, just about belt high. And that's the one as a hitter you can get to.
Now Coastal will consider applying pressure. They have Sykes, the 9-hole hitter, up. Single with a couple of RBIs, then a fielder's choice. He swings away, though, and he fouls it off.
And the strength of Hintz with that sidearm and throwing a lot of sinkers, he can create double plays.
Being the home team, Sykes just looked over at third base right now. See how deep he's playing to see if he bunts. Does not.
That one gets away quickly down to second base. The throw down there is into center field. And no advancement. Boy, Dean Mijos didn't know where the ball was. He got stuck at second base.
Common mistake. As soon as you take that extra bag close play, you have to keep your eyes up, not look down. Arizona lucky and fortunate here on Guzman's errant throw that he just looked down and only noticed it because the fans were the ones yelling.
So Casey hints into the game. A single, a wild pitch. And there the attempted bunt by Wells Sykes. There's a lot of frustration on Sykes too. That is something they preach and practice so much. Hence the junior at 6 feet 167 out of Lakewood, Illinois.
Here's Sykes right now. Even with 2 strikes right here, you have to be thinking the other way, especially from the angle of where the pitch is coming.
Sykes reaches out, rolls one over to the shortstop, who gets him at first base. To third base goes Mijos.
It's great base running by Mijos. Ball hit right at you, or even a step towards your right, you go. Soft contact right there. There's no way the shortstop can make a play on you. White only has one choice but to go to first base.
I mean, that's the rule in baseball. It's been around for a long time, right? Second base, ball at you or behind you, you take an extra 90. That ball was hit directly where he was standing, so the secondary lead took the ball behind him, and he easily takes an extra 90. That place was close over at first base.
It was. Here again with a spot runner in scoring position, Boddine, and a leadoff hitter sends one to the seats for a souvenir.
How about the way right now that Arizona is playing their defense? They're playing back. They're conceding the run anything on the ground, especially with Heinz being a ground ball guy.
You surprised by that a little bit?
They're playing for the inning. On the road, yes, I am, because they're the visiting team.
To shortstop, they will get the ground ball out, but because of that contact from Boddine, it's now tied again 4-4 in the bottom of the 6th.
And a good thing they did bring the infield in there. The infield in, shortstop play a normal spot. That ball gets through, gets up the middle, and you got a run home and a runner at first base. Instead, bases are clear, but we got a tie ball game. And this is what Coastal does so well. Their situational hitting, I'm telling you, is different. They find ways to pick up runs where you don't need to get a base hit to bring home a runner.
And they again do it with pressure. There's a wild pitch on a stolen base. And advancing to third on a slow ground ball to short. Strike one to Sebastian Alexander, who has struck out twice. And he's in an 0-2 hole. He's feeling good at the plate, though, hitting almost 500 the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he has elevated his game in the postseason. That's what's great about the postseason. And if you had a great year, good for you. Continue it. But if you didn't have a great year, man, you got a chance to make people forget all about the off regular season you had, right? And you can just have a great postseason. That's all people are going to remember.
What's the philosophy in the postseason? Forget about your numbers now. It's all about the W's. Individual stats, throw them out the window.
Seabass's favorite part, or one of them so far, calls real serious. He loved that private jet. He really loved coming here with his team, flying private. Top of the screen and past.
What did Danny say, the PJ?
Yeah, Danny she went sort of code on private jet PJ. He seemed to know what he.
And we were lost.
Yeah.
I could have used one of those a couple days ago, by the way.
Same here.
Instead of taking a tour that I did and not going anywhere.
Could have stopped at Baton Rouge and picked you up if I had one as well.
I can see the eyes light up, and Big Ben sees the Ferris wheel rolling there. He's going to be.
I'm going to go check it out again.
No doubt about it. Take Danny with you. A foul ball for Alexander. And one thing about Coastal Carolina, as he brought it up to us when we were talking with him, he said, we don't have to be, none of us have to be sort of an all end all guy. We have so many different players, and it takes the pressure off of us. And we've seen that in this game today. In the dirt, slaps at his chest. Said, I look at zones to hit, two-strike approach. He knows where the ball he wants to hit's going to be. And that's outside. He's got himself fired up in this plate appearance. Came right into his wheelhouse. The other thing he's done, Eddie, as a hitter, he's got a leg kick now. He says instead of lunging, stays back a little bit more as a result of the leg kick.
Yeah, he came in as a front foot hitter, and in the fall they started working on him staying back. So it's a lot of repetition. All the work, most of the work for these collegiate players is done in the fall.
Ninth pitch of the at bat. That one gets away. They will throw it down. He will be retired, and we will head to the 7th. One run comes in. Good tight ball game to start this 2025 Men's College World Series. 7th inning ahead in a 4-4 ball game, and then just exploded to end up with a 53-win season. They have won 23 straight games. Like Arizona, every team here, Coastal Carolina, 13 come from behind wins during that streak. Fluky on the corner, strike one. So another new ball game, back to square. Line 1-2. 1, 2, and 3 have done so much damage for Arizona all season long. 358 hitter, a 320, 332 hitter. Brayfogle trying to lead things off. This one will be decided by the bullpens. Brayfogle sends one sky high. This one's got carry on it at the track, and now stepping in a few feet is Pato. Just missed it off the bat of Easton Brayfogle. He is out. Well, game 3 very exciting. Game 4 NBA Finals tonight, 8:30 Eastern Time on ABC, Deportes, and ESPN Radio. How about the Pacers? Pacers up 2-1. Coverage tips with the NBA countdown at 8. Get a lot of brand names in the NBA Finals or the NHL Finals, and both the series have been wildly competitive. SportsCenter, of course, after each of those games has been phenomenal in the post-game coverage. Game 4 tonight. Ball 1 to Brendan Summerhill. You guys remember what it felt like game 1, Omaha? Sort of feel extra pressure.
Yes.
To get that win.
Yes. I always think the first game of the year. Always think the first game of your conference tournament. Always feel like the first game of regionals. There's a little bit of anxiety, and then of course the first game when you get to the College World Series, because when you first get here, you know that you're here, but it's not really set in yet. But then all of a sudden you get here for a couple of days, you start looking at each other, and you go, guys, we're a few wins away from wearing a ring and winning the national championship, and then it begins to set in for you. But I mean, it's the best event in the world, you know. And here's the cool thing about it for me. There's 30 big league teams getting ready to go play tonight on Friday night. In every clubhouse right now, I promise you know what's on TV? This game right here, the College World Series, because the best players in the world, they love the college game, and they're sitting there in the clubhouse getting ready, thinking about what they're going to do, but they're watching this game in big league clubhouses all around the country right now.
Called strike 3 on the corner. Great pitch there from Fluky as he gets Summerhill.
And a lot of guys that are in those clubhouses have been here.
Yeah.
They made huge presences, and there are others that wish that they would have gotten here.
Well, we talk about it all the time, and 54% of the big league rosters this year, 54% of them when the season began came from the college game. The college game continues to be the quickest way and the best way to get to the big leagues.
Well, we just saw a phenomenal framing of a pitch by Boddine, who is going to be a major league catcher. And the advantage that he gives to this pitching staff, not only in his framing, but his ability to block everything. It's been one of the reasons that Coastal has been able to hang in so many of these games during this 23-game streak and then come back and win those games. Just a ballast behind the plate. Walton the other way, but that's out of play.
You want to talk about a strike stealer? That's exactly what Kaden Boddine is. He is a strike stealer, folks. And if you'll watch him, he'll get on one knee. The pitch comes to the plate. He drops the glove towards the ground, and he works from the ground up. There he is. And see, he'll go down and get that ball, stick his thumb underneath it, and then try to quickly shove it up in the strike zone. That's what they're teaching now for a while.
Can we talk about that graphic? There was one that was almost in the dirt that was called.
Yeah, I don't know who was behind home plate on that one right there, but they were having a bad day.
Couldn't do anything with that one, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And it's kind of where we are now. I mean, we see it at the big league level, and now the collegiate game is the same way. And the analytics show that if you drop the glove and you work from the ground up, you can steal more pitches. As a pitcher, I don't particularly like it because I want to see where you want the ball, right? So you can see right there, as Lukey begins to go towards home plate, what is he throwing to? The glove was there. Now the glove is gone. So now what am I picking to throw? I always wanted to see the target. I want to know where you wanted the ball, and I wanted that target to be there as I came through my release point. And so it's an adjustment. I guess you can get used to anything, but you'll see the glove. It'll disappear as he goes down the slope. So what is he throwing to right there? And then the glove comes back up.
Yeah, so if you were to get used to it, what would you throw to? The plate?
You would have to pick a shin guard. If you're going to the outside corner, maybe you're eyeballing the shin guard. Maybe you're eyeballing something on your catcher to where you knew the glove was, and I'm going to try to pick that one spot to try to go to.
In this case, maybe the Under Armour label on the protector. 3-2 on the way to Walton.
And it's a lot more difficult also as well to have, if it's coaches down the line, relay signs of location, because that one knee is down, because the glove goes down and then comes right back up. And umpires are taught to use the shin guards as a reference as well to make those calls. By taking one away and putting the other one to the side, that glove coming from the bottom up can trick them into stealing pitches down in the zone more than up in the zone.
He tried there, but he's unable to pull off the wizardry. So it's a walk.
Well, let's take a look at Boddine behind home plate for Coastal Carolina. One of the best in the business. And watch how quickly he works from the ground up. See how he snatches that ball and quickly brings it back. And it's not a lot of movement. It's just subtle, but it's really, really accurate with him. It's not big movements. But we're also in a different time, too. I mean, think about this. The average big league pitcher misses his spot by 11 inches. That is the miss right now for the best pitchers in the world, is 11-inch miss. And so we're not always throwing to where the glove was. A lot of times we're trying to outstuff you.
Boddine trying to throw down the runner, and he is safe. A stolen base for Aaron Walton.
And nothing Boddine can do on that one. That one's stolen straight off the pitcher. High leg kick, breaking pitch as well. Coming in, and look at the angle. We've seen so many catchers today not go over the top. It used to be you have to throw over the top. Now it's a little bit more of a 3/4 angle, and again the throw runs on the runner's side.
White underneath this one, sends it sky high. Thorndike is camped and there to make the play. So White cannot get the runner in from second. We are through 6.5. It's 4-4. Here 16 years we've seen the success of this particular program. Adley Rutschman, of course, and other greats that have played for Oregon State. As they have arrived, they get set for their showdown against Dan McDonald and the Louisville Cardinals later this evening. That's our next game here at the Men's College World Series. In Oregon State, kind of an independent. They chose to be an independent. They played 1 billion games on the road this year. And then they got some home games in the postseason, have made it back to Omaha. Barthol rips the first pitch foul.
The Oregon State played, what, the fewest home games out of anybody in the country?
Yep.
Wow. They got some frequent flyer miles, is what they did.
One of the big reasons you don't get to play in a conference tournament. 13 days just practicing amongst themselves.
But you talk about battle tested and bring a lot of confidence to the College World Series. When you do that and have that kind of success.
Into the corner it goes, and it's just going to find the seats down the line and left. Yeah, I mean, how many times have we heard from Major League Baseball teams, those that win the divisions and win running away and get a bye and not playing, and it kills them once they get back on the field? Well, we'll see if Oregon State's able to deal with their absence. The inter-squad games.
It's not the same.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
You're going to have a little bit of rust. There's no doubt about that.
Cardinals are 4-0 in games tied after 6 innings. Coastal is 3-2.
1-2.
Coastal does have a little bit of an advantage. They are the best hitting team of the 8 in the field in the 7th inning or later this year. Hitting .318.
Guys, back to that conversation with Oregon State. Let's not forget they lost the first game against St. Mary's in the regional. So those days, yes, I think it did affect them against St. Mary's, but they were able to bounce back in a big way. And then they came back late against Florida State in the Super Regionals.
A little jam shot, and this one is down the line, and it is a fair ball. Barthol goes to second base, and he will stand there just inside the line. And he will be standing at second base as it looks like that one went out of play.
That's when you love getting jammed, because if he barrels this thing will hook. The ball will hook foul. Instead, it comes right in on his hands. And it just does not have enough spin to spin foul. Stays right on the line.
Yeah, you can see the chalk fly up. That's why they use chalk. Anything kick that white up.
By rule, on the batted ball, we have phase interference. Therefore, we're going to reward the runner, batter runner, second base.
Okay, there's nowhere to hide. We've got cameras everywhere.
Coastal leads off the inning with their first extra base hit of the game. Middle of the order now, Walker Mitchell.
Got to be a bunt, you would think.
It is perfect. Difficult play as Mitchell can fly. Nice job by Hintz, the pitcher, to get him out. But the go-ahead run now, 90 feet away.
It's a great play.
Perfect bunt. I mean, just an absolutely perfect bunt, and an even better play by the pitcher, Hintz. This is not an easy play for him, especially being sidearm like he is, but he, right at that natural arm slot that he has, grabs it, and a perfect strike over to first base. How about this bunt? You couldn't have stood at home plate and rolled it any better than that.
Really difficult as well. Infield is going to play in this time now with a tie score in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, the wheels are turning everywhere. You got Chip Hale talking with his staff. Colby Thorndyke has been phenomenal with runners in scoring position, hitting .375 this season, is the next man up. And a reminder, while we're underway, we will continue all week. Our finals will start on June 21st. You want more information on this World Series? NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. It looks like Chip Hale has made a decision. Hence is going to come out of the game in a very high leverage situation. Garrett Hicks is coming in to try to make sure Coastal does not grab a lead here in the 7th. It's 4-4, runner at third. We'll take a quick timeout. Little day game to decide the College World Series of 2016. Fielded, bobbled. They throw to third. They throw it away. 2-0 on an Arizona miscue. Young to right. This one's deep, and it is gone. He got him, and it's all over. Coastal Carolina rules the roost. They win the championship. A magical run for that Coastal Carolina team back in 2016. And of course, there is Gary Gilmore. He was the coach. Some outstanding names on that team. But right now, the focus is on this game. And the new pitcher in to deal with a man on third, one-out situation has been outstanding. And that's Garrett Hicks.
And he has been busy, too, making his 33rd appearance of the year. Elevated ERA. He can strike you out, though, and that's what he needs right now. 47 strikeouts, only 12 walks in 43 1/3. Infield drawn in, trying to create a ground ball.
Thorndike chased one way out of the zone. That's not Coastal Carolina's approach there. And now it's 0-2.
Got the Raleigh Fingers mustache.
Oh, but now as a pitcher, my mindset changes, right? I'm thinking ground ball at first. Now with 2 strikes, I'm thinking one thing. How can I create a strikeout now? Just like that.
Just like that.
How about that? You talk about well done. Out of the bullpen in a pressure moment. Runner at third, only 1 out. Garrett Hicks comes in, throws 3 pitches, all elevated fastballs, and quickly gets rid of Thorndike.
More strikeouts than innings pitched this season, and only 12 walks. So you know he's around the plate, and you know he can induce the chase.
Tremendous ride on that fastball for Pato.
Yeah, kind of give you an idea. His fastball is swung and missed 22% of the time. The D1 average is right at 18%, so he's a little bit above average on the swing and miss with the fastball.
Pato a couple of hits today, an RBI, and also a strikeout. Is right. We've seen that fastball, and there he changed it up at 85. And Hicks is 1 pitch away from coming in and dousing this fire.
This would be huge for Arizona and huge for Garrett Hicks to work out of this.
The 0-2. Pato's gone. Look at Hicks pump his fist. What a job.
That's big time right there. When I say big time, that is about as big as it gets. Runner on third base and only 1 out. How about back-to-back strikeouts by Garrett Hicks? And you know one thing, the kid is fired up, and so is Arizona right now.
6 pitches to get the 2 punchies. Garrett Hicks turns this over. We head to the 8th. It's 4-4, game 1 of the World Series. Phenomenal one. It's 4-4 between Arizona and Coastal Carolina. And the bullpen very effective. Garrett Hicks on 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts, strands the runner at third.
It's down.
And now we're back for ball 1 from Flukie, who continues to pitch. Flukie came in the 5th inning, replacing Riley Eichhoff. Guzman's had himself a day. 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. Boddine could not help there. It's 2 balls, no strikes. There is Riley. Now just a spectator, hoping his team can pull off the victory. Popped up. One down to Thorndike to make the play on the pop out from Guzman. Now, fellas, we're not in uncharted territory. This is year 3 now that the opening game of the World Series is tied after 7 innings. We have ourselves a part of history.
Keeping it tight. Now it's all about defense, pitching and defense. Who can execute the best?
And a timely hit.
Mikalakis way inside, ball 1. Double and an RBI in the 4th inning for the left-handed hitting third baseman for the Wildcats. This ball is laced to center field. Sykes got a really good read on it and made it look simple. soon as that hit the bat, he was off, and he had a great read.
He's been impressive this afternoon. Really good jumps in center field. We've seen him already come in on baseballs, go to his right, and right there going to his left again and just squaring up to the baseball.
When you are strong up the middle, and I mean strong up the middle, I mean your middle infielders, your center fielder, and your catcher, and that's what Coastal has, and that's what makes their defense so good. They are super strong up the middle.
Aaron Caulfield out of Sacramento, California, with 2 down. And it's strike 1. Sykes has shown terrific ability out there. 5 of the putouts made by the Carolina team have been made by Sykes. How to play, Danny.
Yeah, you guys have been talking about Fluky and Boddine and how good he is back there. And Cam Fluky told us earlier this week, he said, Kaden's awesome. He's incredible. Sometimes I'll throw a pitch and it looks really good. I don't know if it's a strike the way he receives it. Is it actually a strike or did he receive it well? That's how good he is back there, guys.
It's a great security blanket. And he is gone, chasing Fluky. Another decent inning. We push ourselves to the bottom of the 8th. He did that on 8 pitches. Bottom of the order for the Shants when we come back to Omaha. That home run came off the bat of the shortstop Mason White. That was in the 4th inning. Solo shot the other way. We'll see now. As Ben just pointed out during the break, there's all sorts of adrenaline that helps a guy like Hicks, and now you're settled into the game. Is he going to be able to do what he just did by throwing 6 pitches to get 2 strikeouts, and he gets ahead of Ty Dooley?
Well, we see it all the time. You even see it at the big league level. A reliever comes in a huge moment, gets out of it. It's very emotional. You go sit on the bench, and sometimes you come back out. It is just not the same.
Ooh, did not miss by much. Dooley over 300 against righties. And this one, a little blooper on the infield, cut in front of the second baseman, the shortstop Mason White, for the first out. Which will get us to Dean Mijos, who's had himself a nice day with a couple of hits. Big swing at a fastball from Mijos, who's had very good success against changeups. Good numbers against all different pitch types, but particularly changeups. So you may see a steady diet of fastballs on a 1-1. No, there's a breaking pitch, and that is a lock you up breaking ball in there for a strike.
The old front door breaking ball. And once a hitter flinches like that, he's got no chance of putting barrel on ball.
1-2, working quickly. Hicks. One is down in the dirt. Kevin Schnall, the coach who took over in June of last year after Gary Gilmore spent 29 years here. 50 wins in year 1. Mike Martin won 51. That one is off in 1980. And Mike Batesall went 52-18 for Cal State Northridge. So really impressive company for Schnall in his first season with Coastal to go over 50. And again, the 3-2.
Really good at bat. tough-off pitches on the inside part. Right there, 3-2 breaking pitch. Staying on it.
To Hopper to the shortstop, an easy one for Mason White, who got rid of it very quickly. A familiar sight when you're at the same site and you're in the middle of a tournament. You got the other teams waiting for their game and their field, and that's what Oregon State is doing. They get the Cardinals of Louisville coming up in our next game. Oregon State, a fantastic season. They talked about all that travel too, guys, and how they looked at it in the end as a real bonding experience. UCLA had a similar situation where their field was unavailable to them, so they bus to all sorts of different fields around their campus to practice. Yeah, ahead of Sykes, 0-2.
Yeah, neither one of those scenarios are ideal, right? But when you're 18 to 22 years old, man, you don't care. You just want to play ball. I don't care how much I got to travel. I don't care what field I got to play on. I just want to go play baseball.
Hicks deals. And this one, a little blooper to right. Will it get down? And yes, it will. Another fair ball. He's heading to second. And he is in there with a double, two-out double for Wells Sykes.
That's the second hit for Sykes this afternoon. This one, he was talking to it the entire way. In the air, his head slanted to the side, hustling through first, and with 2 outs, it's the right play. Go to second. Forced the throw on Summerhill to be able to get you out at second base, and did not.
Well, you talk about know where the barrel is, too, huh? That ball wasn't even close to being a strike, but somehow he went down on it and put just enough wood on it and shoved it out to right field.
Well, an interesting situation here. Boddine is up. First base is open. And the situation is a lot less interesting because they're intentionally walking Kaden Boddine, who has come up a handful of times today with runners on, and you kind of felt like at some point he's due.
And we had this conversation with Chip Hale before. Who's that circle guy in the lineup? And you usually don't hear what the leadoff hitter is, and it's Boddine, the leadoff hitter. And in this situation, it's the right call, especially with Seabass. Sebastian Alexander 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts this afternoon.
Well, look at Garrett Hicks's numbers on the year, right? Versus left-handed hitters 318 versus right-handed hitters 222. So almost a 100-point difference. So why would you not put the best hitter on the other team on base with first base open?
Yep.
Play the odds, grab the platoon advantage, and go to work.
Good speed out there at second in Wells Sykes. Is this the moment for Sebastian Alexander? Good job behind the plate again by Guzman.
Yeah, both of our catchers, I'm telling you what, both of the catchers for these teams have been on point today.
Alexander, a little blooper into center. It's going to get down. It's going to bring in the go-ahead run. How about the 2-out magic from the Chanticleers? Sykes hits home. Alexander puts Coastal up 5-4.
One of the big reasons this play happens, it's because he was able to lay off the first 2 of the sliders. Calmly works the count, 2-0, gets jammed. Outfield's playing deep. This ballpark's big enough that when you do get jammed, you're going to be able to create runs. Pitch up in the zone, base hit, he celebrates as the Shots take the lead, 5-4.
Well, think about this. We talk so much about exit velocity and how hard you hit a ball, but sometimes just putting a bat on the ball, and Coastal's done it twice. And neither one of those balls hit very hard at all, but they're hit in the right place. Would you rather hit it hard and hit it to somebody, or just make contact and find the outfield grass? And Coastal did it twice, and now they have the lead.
Well, Gary Gilmore perhaps sensing a little bit of deja vu when his team won it back in 2016. They went unbeaten into the College World Series. This Coastal Carolina team, obviously on a 23-game win streak, has won every game they played in the postseason.
Man, you win 23 games in a row and you feel like you can't lose. You feel like even when you get down, no matter what the situation is, you find a way to win the ball game.
It's 5-4, and the fireman, Tony Pluta, is going to come in for Arizona, trying to keep this 5-4. 2 outs, bottom 8, threat continues. Stay with us here on ESPN and the College World Series.
There is Tony Pluta making his 29th appearance of the year. The best Arizona has in that bullpen and one of the best in the country. Look at these numbers. 1.26 ERA. How about the strikeout to walk ratio? Off the charts. Fastball going to be 90 to 94. Got a little cutter and a curveball as well, an occasional changeup.
First pitch, Blake Barthol. That's off. An aerospace engineering major who got a 36 on his ACT, which is the highest number you can get on that exam.
A 36?
36.
I took it twice and didn't make that combined. How you make a 36?
You can ask him after the game on a 1-0. 2-0. Danny.
Just talked to Coastal's pitching coach, Matt Williams. He told me that Cam Fluke's going to come back into this game, close it out. He said he settled in nicely, finally landing that breaking pitch, Carl.
He'd love a couple of more runs. Here in the bottom of the 8th, they've scratched one across. And wow, a rare 3-0 count from Pluta.
Pluta knows he still has a base open. Matchup against Barthol's the left-hander. Got the right-hander Walker Mitchell, who's 0 for 3 with a walk on deck.
Strike number 1. The numbers that he throws there, miles per, they won't blow you away, but he is such a savvy, smart pitcher.
Smart, and you know, with his major, he understands the analytical world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's a shorter guy and low release point.
This ball roped into right, gonna get down. That's a huge one there. Coming in, and now this one to the wall. A huge double that plays 2 runs. And Coastal Carolina has opened it up and lead it 7-4 as Blake Barthol delivers against one of the best pitchers in the country.
Blake Barthol, huh? How about a 3 for 4 day? It's not how you start, Eddie. It's how you finish. Struck out in his first 2 at-bats, then a single, a double, and a 2 RBI double right there. And Coastal has broken this one open. They got some breathing room now, folks.
Are you surprised right there, 3-1? He just gave him a cookie right down the middle. You still have a bag open with a right-handed hitter on deck.
I don't think that's where he was trying to throw the ball. That's where it ended up. And again, we're at a point where both of these teams, you leave something in the middle part of the plate, man, it has gotten turned around today.
What a relentless team, Coastal Carolina.
Lead at 7-4. And that one is off. Well, at this point, you have to kind of look at the way the game was coached as well. They went to Fluke early. They kept him in it. They brought in Pluta a little bit late, perhaps. He gives up that big hit. And he's behind 2-0 here after falling behind Blake Barthol before giving up the double.
And Coastal 38-0 this year when leading after 8. Arizona 2-19 on the year when trailing after 8.
Walker Mitchell trying to add to it. This one is popped up to right, and that will do it. What an inning for Coastal Carolina. Wells Sykes with a huge double to get things going, and Kaden Boddine, the best hitter, wasn't involved. He just received an intentional walk. Sebastian Alexander a single and an RBI, and Blake Barthol a double and 2 RBI. To the 9th we go. Welcome back, everyone. Well, one of the things we told you is how good Coastal Carolina's offense has been from the 7th inning on. Today they get 3 in the 8th, and look at what they have done as they try to go 6-0 so far in the NCAA tournament. A .394 batting average, 25 runs, an OPS over 1,100, and 14 extra base hits. None bigger than that double from Blake Barthol. So Fluke is going to try to close this thing out, and his first pitch is ball 1.
And if they're able to hold on to the lead and win, that would be 24 consecutive games, and 14 come from behind wins.
with Jacob Morrison set to go in game 2, who is their best pitcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. It is Andrew Kane, Tommy Splain, and Easton Brayfogle due up. That's 7, 8, 9 for Arizona. Off speed, that's a good start. That's going to get down. Kane will turn, he will go. He's in safely as he dives in head first. He took a chance, but a leadoff double for Andrew Kane.
Yeah, a big chance. When you're down 3 in the top of the 9th, not a lot of outs to give away. You better be 100% sure that you can get to second base. And he was committed as soon as he hit this ball to the pull side. I am going. That's his decision and decision alone.
7th double of the season for Kane.
I know if I'm Coastal Carolina, who I'm about to go get, and I'm going to get my closer in Ryan Lynch.
He just threw a pitch. He's the big righty out there. 38-0. Remember when leading after 8, and here comes a mound visit.
I am not wasting any time here. I'm not giving Arizona any breathing room. I'm going to get my dude.
First-year pitching coach Matt Williams comes out, and he has made the move. He's already signaled to the bullpen. Looked like he signaled for the lefty to come in. We'll see. New pitcher, not named Lynch, coming into this game. It's 7-4 in the 9th. 4-4 into the bottom of the 8th. Capital One rewarding performance. The 8th inning. How about that golf shot? Wells Sykes finds the fairway, just fair. He ends up on second base. Then a swing looked like it was a home run swing. Ends up with a blooper to center. Sebastian Alexander delivered the go-ahead run, and then Blake Barthold delivered the big hit of Tony Pluta. A double and 2 RBIs. Again, we pass the torch, anyone can be a hero mentality of Coastal shining again on their way to 23 straight wins and what they hope will be their 24th and 54th win of the season. They go with big Dominic Carbone, Dom Carbone, 6-0 with an ERA of 2.6, 48 strikeouts, 8 walks.
Yeah, big time stuff for him. Got 5 saves on the year as well. It's kind of a two-headed monster there for Coastal Carolina. Ryan Lynch has 8 saves on the year with a .59 ERA. Carbone, above average fastball. It's going to be 90 to 94. Has an outstanding slider and a curveball as well.
Tommy Splain, the 8-hitter, with Kane at second base. Looks at strike 1. Coastal Carolina trying to win the opener of this 2025 College World Series. Leading 7-4 with Jacob Morrison ready to go in game 2, but nobody out here in the 9th. Foul.
And what's made him so difficult to be able to barrel him up this year is he hides the ball really well. The ability of starting 0-1, then hiding the baseball, and it explodes at the top of the zone. It's a lot of chases as well.
Here's the only thing I don't understand about bringing him in. Right-handed hitters are hitting 300 off of Carbone.
Ahead 0-2. Stays alive. Difficult pitch, but he's fouled it off.
Yeah, he's got a big time swing and miss slider. His slider is swung and missed 49% of the time. The curveball swung and missed 50% of the time. To give you an idea, big league, not big league average, I say D1 average is right about 30% for both of those. So he is well above average.
This one is into center. It's going to get down. Being held up there at third base, but all of a sudden the single from Splain will bring the tying run to the plate with nobody out in the 9th.
That's a really good piece of hitting with 2 strikes. Don't be afraid to get jammed. This time the pitch down in the zone. And Splain, who's been one of, if not the hottest hitter for Arizona down the stretch, gets it right off the end of the bat.
It was kind of a nothing slider, wasn't it? Just kind of spun and set in the middle part of the plate. It was down.
Arizona's going to go to a pinch hitter, Dom Rodriguez. To your point about the righties against the lefty Carbone.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't understand about this. Normally when you got a pitcher and righties are hitting 300 off of them, it's a little bit of a risk.
First and third, nobody out. There's that nasty pitch. 94 down and in to Rodriguez, who, if he swung, was likely going to hit it off of his shin.
Only 23 at-bats this season for Rodriguez.
Buries another one, but it's too far in to go 1 ball, 1 strike. Arizona trying to fight back. They gave up 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Rip from Rodriguez.
Tell you what, that's some good swings right there.
Quick hands. He's going to have to spin one in the dirt. Trust his catcher to keep it in front of him.
6'2" junior, big guy out of Turlock, California. 1 for 10 against lefties, but a battle here. He swings and misses on 84, and that's the first out.
There's that big sweeping slider right there. Again, a 49% swing and miss, and he threw this in the perfect spot. When you're a left-handed pitcher going against a right-handed hitter, this is exactly where you want to get that breaking ball. Start it in the middle, but get it down and in and underneath the bat. Well done.
Carbone picks up the first out. Ground ball, double play could end it against Brendan Summerhill. His coaching staff's all said, you realize lefties have a hard time getting lefties out. Summerhill beats one up the middle, fielded at second, and he was the hero today, Blake Barthol. Coastal Carolina takes game 1 on a game-ending double play. They beat Arizona 7-4. That one felt destined for center field, but Barthol ranged to his right, stabbed it, stepped, and completed the play.
Coastal Carolina just does not know how to lose. 24 consecutive wins now, 14 comeback wins. They're relentless. They continue to play great defense. 0 errors for both teams. Carolina coming down and getting 3 in the bottom of the 8th for the win.
I tell you what, a well-played game all the way around. It came down to opportunities for me, and Coastal had 19 opportunities with runners in scoring position. They only come through 5 times. When you get that many opportunities to come through, and they found a way to do it. They believe they can win. They hadn't lost since way back in April, and they are on a roll right now.
Backs to the wall now for Arizona. Coastal to 1-0. Louisville and Oregon State. Our next game coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern time.